start the stream. So I'm not sure. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nintendo Talk Live. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru. Today, I am joined by public enemy number one in the Nintendo community, Chris White. What is up, Chris?
Hello, Bobby. Hello. I will proudly wear that moniker tonight. That's fine. How you doing, man?
I'm good. It's funny, when I asked you to come on, it was before I listened to Life of Gaming podcast, your post E3 stuff, and you were like, you might want to take a listen to this before you ask me to come on, and I was like, oh, Chris, what did you do? What did you do? But I just, we'll get into all that in a minute and stuff and all that. But how you doing?
I'm good, man. Just busy. E3 was a crazy week, and so there's a lot of stuff going on, and like the week after E3 is almost like a detox for us, going through back over the news that we missed and trying to make sense of the news that we got and just kind of putting that all together. So, life is busy, but it's good times, man. We got a lot of great announcements, a lot of good fun stuff. So it's been good.
What is up, Lamont? My buddy, it's my nephew Lamont is in the room. Not really my nephew, but it's funny. He's got an uncle, and I found Lamont through Instagram. So every time I see his uncle, I laugh, man, because his uncle is funny as hell. And so now he calls me Uncle Guru. And,
oh, very nice.
so Sean's saying "explain yourself, fool," but we'll see. We'll get to that.
We're gonna get there, Sean. Just make sure that you keep watching.
Yeah, it's gonna get interesting.
Settle in.
So Amiibo hit yesterday.
They did, yeah.
How did you fare in the Amiibo hunt?
Of the ones that came out, I absolutely have no interest in the Twilight Princess one. Mostly because Twilight Princess is the worst Zelda game ever made.
Oh, Jesus.
But
God.
But
Let's
I
start
also,
off good, Chris. Let's just start off good.
but I also absolutely I hate the pose that they put on that figure. But I did get the Majora's Mask, or the young Link with the mask from. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I got him from Best Buy. Yes. The Goron mask. Oh, so good. Toon Link is my favorite. Yeah. But mine's still shipping. I didn't pay for for extra shipping or whatever. So I think it actually gets here Monday. And that's the one I want. I can't find. I want Skyward Sword so bad, man. That game was also garbage, but man, just the art design of that game is just so great.
Yeah, so I was not able to get Twilight Princess. Look, I'm crazy when it comes to these things. I collect them all. I have them all. Josh Stapleton in the house. What's up, Josh? And I basically, I'm a lunatic when it comes to Amiibo. It's well documented. But I think that this is the worst that it's ever been when it comes to Amiibo. Nintendo and these stores completely dropped the ball with these things. There was not enough to go around by any stretch of the imagination. There was big issues with, in terms of like, no stores had them in stock at all.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't walk in the doors and pick them up. Which, look, during the Amiibo craze, during the big hunts and everything, like, yeah, it was hard to get them. But you had to go there day one to get them. But they always had one or two there that you could, at least you knew that if I got there early, I could get one. They had none at all. And it's like, how do you do this? This makes no sense whatsoever. And even in the worst days of the hunt, you could go to the store and they had them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't think that would be so much of a problem if Nintendo could solve the pre-order issue. Yeah. But they're still horrible at getting pre-orders. The only one that I ever found available for pre-order was at Best Buy, and it was the Goron mask, the Link from Majora's Mask. I never found any of the other ones on for pre-order. And now if you go to Amazon, you can get a Skyward Sword for like $40. Yeah. And look, I like having little plastic toys, but I'm definitely not paying that much for it.
It's better than eBay. eBay's up to $70-$80. So yeah, it's insanity. You know, my thing is, and I've said this from day one. Like, if you go back to when I had the Geek Guru one, Chelsea Capri is in the house. How you doing, Chelsea? This is the one you want, right, Chelsea? Right here.
I'm just gonna so nice. I love it.
A thing of beauty right there. That is gorgeous.
Oh, no! Nobody wants it now, Bobby.
Listen, everybody wants it now. Now it just shot up in value. I've always said that, like, look, when I had my Geek Guru channel on YouTube and stuff, my thing was always, you know, hey guys, look, you take the pre-orders for 2 weeks, and then you make every single one that gets pre-ordered plus 10%. And guess what? You'll sell every one that you have, and the 10%, you're good to go. And guess what? It eliminates scalpers, and everybody walks away happy. Done. It's done and done, man. Doesn't make any sense, you know? Because I remember when we used to do, when pre-orders first started, back in my day, when I was a old man, when I was a young whippersnapper, pre-orders started because of Zelda 2 and Super Mario Brothers 2. Because it was so horrendous trying to get those games that Nintendo implemented this pre-order process.
Yeah.
The idea was you take pre-orders, and they knew how many games they needed to produce before they launched a game. It was a gauge for them. Now here we are, years later, and we can't figure it out still. It just blows my mind, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we could track this all the way back to the first run of Amiibo, and even more so to the NES Classic. It's almost like I don't think Nintendo's dumb enough to realize that people want their stuff, especially their classic stuff. I mean, you put Zelda, you put Mario on something, people are going to want it. You know, you have your fans here that want it. I mean, you know, the Wii U was a travesty of a console, and it still sold 14 million units. So, I mean, people want to buy this stuff. Yeah. And all they're doing, and the thing that I really struggle with is all they're doing is putting money into other people's pockets. Because what happens is if let's say Target gets 3 of each of these Amiibos when they open, and one person buys them, they're all going on eBay, and they're jacking those prices way up, and Nintendo doesn't get to see that profit. I would much rather pay $20 for per Amiibo, or $25 per Amiibo, and guarantee that I'm going to get one, and that Nintendo's going to get the money to continue funding future projects and future Amiibo, rather than have to go and find a scalper to do it. It doesn't make any sense, and Nintendo hasn't fixed this yet.
Well, the thing of it is look. So when Wave 1 hits, Wave 2 hits, I get it. You know, when it comes to Amiibo, I don't think anybody had any idea these things would explode the way they did. I don't think Nintendo was prepared for it. You looked at the Wii U wasn't moving. They were fighting for shelf space in these retailers. So I get it. I understand why Wave 1, it was hard to gauge. Once Wave 1 hits, you have a good idea that, hey, we need to get things going. Fernando in the house. What is up, Fernando? And at that point, you need to understand, like, okay, we're in this situation. We're going to start to make improvements. Wave 2, I don't think you can correct the ship that quickly. But by Wave 3, things should start to alleviate. By Wave 4, it was down. It was locked in.
Yeah.
How we are back to this is beyond me. I don't understand it. And I think, like, I get why the NES Classic also didn't. Their estimations weren't smart on that or wise. What I don't understand is why stop. You know what I mean? Like, you can still push them things out. You could do a slow trickle, get them out, get them on the store shelves. People would be happy. To completely stop. Me and Sean were talking about this a couple weeks ago on If We Ran Nintendo, and I basically said, like, by them stopping, they validated every single scalper if they ever do a Super Nintendo Mini.
Yeah,
because
100%.
because now people are going to go, oh my god, they're sold out. I'm going to eBay. I'm going to get it for $300 before they go up to $600 or $700, and it's nuts. I think it was a mistake on Nintendo's fault or on Nintendo's place by canceling these things with Amiibo. So then you can look at how the Amiibo went, and then they bring out the Animal Crossing ones. The mistake was you put the Animal Crossing ones with Amiibo Festival. Amiibo Festival is not a great game. It's not as horrible, and it shouldn't get as much hate as people give it. But the mistakes were made. That Amiibo should not have come out for that. Amiibo should have come out for when they did the Hello Amiibo on the New Leaf. Like when you did it for a mainstay game, it would have sold and people recognize that. Their mistake was trying to do this slap Animal Crossing label on a turd and think that it's going to sell and do good, and Amiibo will sell with it, and that's not what happened. So I agree. Yeah, now you come out of that and you go, okay, you see a little bit of hurt, but like when the Breath of the Wild ones hit, you had enough. Like it was tight. Yeah, it was tight, but there was enough. People weren't. Yeah,
I got all the ones that I wanted. Yeah.
I think people, but like to go from Breath of the Wild to this. Makes no. This is 30th anniversary, man. You're talking about. Look at you were talking about one of the most revered games in Nintendo's history, one of the most loved games, and you're telling me you can't walk in the store and pick this up?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like I'm not expecting them to have them on the shelves now. I would have totally expected 2 days later, a day later, to be sold out. But like I said, if I would have woken up, I'm telling you right now. If I would have woke up the other day at 4 a.m. and went to GameStop like I had thought to do to try to get that one, and they would have told me we don't have any, I would have.
Oh man!
You would have seen me locked up because I would have been so mad that you made me sit out here from 4 o'clock in the morning till you decided to mosey in at 8 or 9 to tell me that you don't have any.
Yeah,
no, that's not the way we fly.
Yeah. I will tell you right now what really makes me nervous is the thing that I want more than anything is that Metroid 2 pack with Samus and Squishy. Where did you pre-order at? GameStop?
No, I don't pre-order from GameStop because GameStop likes to charge $5 per package to ship. Like, come on, you idiots! Like, really? You're charging me $5 per Amiibo? Put them in a big box and ship them to my house for $10. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
No, I got them all from Best
Oh man, see, I guess I missed it up at Best Buy because it's not up there anymore. But man, that's the one that I want, more than anything. And I'm afraid I will not pay scalpers for it, so I'm afraid I'll just miss it. But we'll see that. But that's thinking that Samus is so cool.
You don't have the right to make comments like that.
What?
After all the nonsense you talked the other day, you had no rights to ever talk about Samus or that again in a beloved manner.
Listen, I absolutely love Samus. I love to hear about games that are real and that she's gonna be in. So those are my favorite kind of games.
Well, listen, she is gonna be. I'm gonna tell you right now, your first mistake, and I'm gonna call James out on the carpet with this one. The first mistake of Life of Gaming was Nintendo views E3 totally different than anybody. Their E3 is not that 25-minute presentation. Their E3 is the entire week. Now, you may like that, you may not like that. It is what it is. But that whole day, they just had a bunch of news coming out all throughout. Now, if you're talking about the 25 minutes... So, my feeling was this. I felt like overall, E3, that... Lucas Lure, what is up, buddy? We were just doing some Amiibo talk.
Now nothing yet, Lucas. We are getting started.
We're getting into the meat and potatoes of this whole thing now, so get ready. So my feeling was this. When you looked at the overall E3, I felt like Ubisoft won E3.
Absolutely.
I felt like they had enough surprise, enough diversity for all the rest. Now, when you go to the big three, I felt like Nintendo won.
You are out of your mind. Now,
this is where I have you here because I want to talk to you a little bit about this. I want to understand okay, so I know basically I'm going to let you talk to fill the people in that didn't listen to Life of Gaming. What were your major gripes with Nintendo E3. Now, again, on Life of Gaming, they only let you discuss the 25 minutes. They didn't let you go beyond the 25 minutes. So, what is your issues with Nintendo's E3 presentation?
So, before we get too deep into the debate, I do think that we need to clarify what we classify like E3 being for. Is it for the fans? Is it for marketing pushes? Is it for retailers? Because E3 was originally started to really sell, shelf space for retailers. That was the start of the expo. Yeah. It has become much more of a fan centric expo. I would argue that Nintendo lost on all of those fronts, but so as we go into this, we need to kind of define how you think it won and the goal that it was trying to accomplish. Just in a nutshell, for me, I thought everything that they showed was predictable. For what the only two things that I even think that really surprised me, one exists, which was Samus Returns, which looks absolutely brilliant, and then one was a JPEG, a floating JPEG of Metroid Prime 4, which I, as a fan, and people called us out on the show, called me out specifically on the show. Listen, I am a Nintendo fan, and I have the right to have my opinions about Nintendo because I played ever since I held the original NES controller in my hand, and I feel insulted by Nintendo for taking up 20 seconds of their show to show me a graphic, show me a game that's in development that we have no idea when it's coming out, just because it feels like it was just there to appease fans when there was really no substance to it at all. It is almost like a slap in the face. I would have much rather not seen it. Listen, I know they're making a Metroid Prime game. You don't have, just like I know that Todd Howard is making a Fallout 5. I know that. I don't need Todd Howard to come out tomorrow and show me a graphic that says Fallout 5. That game maybe 6 years down the road.
But
I don't need to see that.
You don't, but there's a lot of people that do. Sadly, that's the world we live in, where there's a lot of people that if they don't see that graphic, then all of a sudden the pitchforks come out and they spew all over the place. You know what I mean? Like
So then we have a bigger problem with fandom at that point.
That's obvious. We have a bigger problem with fandom. That's okay. So look, I don't think there wasn't one person in a prediction show or one show that did a prediction that did not predict we would hear about Metroid.
Agree.
I personally predicted, and I said they're just going to put a graphic up and say that it's coming. So for me to see it, I was okay. Now, for me to act like it was the second coming of Christ, I think that's a little bit of an overstretch. That wasn't what got me excited. I was excited to see it and just to hear it get announced. I'm not a Prime 4 player. I've talked about it numerous times. I can't play first-person shooters. I get nauseous. It is what it is. But I'm happy for people to get that. What I felt like what should have happened is the placement of that should have been at the end of the show, not in the middle of the show. They should have started with Odyssey because we knew that was coming. They should have went into that, did their spiel there. They should have shown Samus Returns and then shown the Prime.
Which looks amazing, by the way. Samus Returns looks amazing.
Phenomenal. Go ahead.
So let me back up and actually answer the question that you asked me, because we got off on the Metroid Prime 4 tangent. The problem that I had is going into E3, and we talked about our predictions on the Life of Gaming, and one of the questions we asked is, what does Nintendo have to do? The bottom line for me, what I said, and I completely hold to that today, is how they win E3 is by showing me what is after Mario. Now, if we're keeping tabs, we have a Yoshi game that's unnamed coming out in 2018. We have a Kirby game that is unnamed. It looks a lot like Triple Deluxe coming out in 2018. We have a Pokemon game that's probably going to be next fall, but possibly 2019. And then we have Metroid Prime 4, which is definitely going to be 2019, possibly later. So those are 4 games that we know. Of all those games, there is nothing there at the level of Breath of the Wild or Super Mario. So leaving the show, they did nothing to show me what the longevity of the console beyond launch, which has always been Nintendo's problem. Now they lucked out, and I say lucked out. They positioned it very well to have Zelda come out at launch, and this happened with the Wii, at the same time. And if you remember the Wii was really held for quite a while, really strictly just on Wii Sports, because after the very the Zelda game Twilight Princess, we didn't really get really good, like Galaxy wasn't till like 2 or 3 years in, and again I don't have my facts right in front of me, but it was at least a couple years into that cycle. It was 2 years in,
because I didn't get the Wii till the second year in. I wasn't able to find one for 2 years. Tony actually bought me one off of eBay from a scalper, paid $500 for my Wii.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. And she bought me Galaxy that Christmas as well.
Yeah.
So that was 2 years in.
So there was a gap, right? So we're seeing a similar thing here, but from the very beginning, I have been a champion of the Switch from the very beginning. Yeah. I've been very excited for it, but I said the one thing that has to happen here is that you have to be able to see third parties come on board. We got 2 third-party games. Well, I guess Xenoblade is technically third party.
No, that's first party.
Is it first party?
Monolith actually does. They work directly for Nintendo. They worked on Zelda.
Gotcha.
And so basically what they do is they do a Xenoblade game, and then when they're done the Xenoblade game, they'll bounce off and help with the Zelda games, and then when the Zelda game's complete, they go back to their Xenoblade game. So
so we got Rabbids, Mario plus Rabbids, and then we got, in my opinion, the single best announcement that Nintendo made, which was we got Rocket League.
Yeah.
But you're telling me that this show was the best of the first party shows, and all you found out about was the games we already knew was coming, outside of one really great looking Metroid game that's not even coming to the platform that everybody is excited about. You have no idea what big AAA Nintendo game is coming after Mario. We have the gap right now is Mario and then Metroid, whenever that is.
Fire Emblem.
And well, you mean Warriors or the Fire Emblem proper?
The Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, so Fire Emblem's going to come.
That's probably going to hit February.
Okay, but if that's going to hit February, why didn't we see that? That's what I'm getting at.
I don't think that's their look. I think look at the Yoshi game. I think the Yoshi game looks very, very good. Kirby game looks like trash. It looks like every other Kirby game that you ever get. I don't see anything special about that game. That is what it is. The Yoshi game was a total shock for me. Didn't see that coming. We know we're getting 2K basketball. That's already been announced, but they didn't show it at the thing, and that's fine. They showed a little bit of Skyrim. That's good. We're getting that. We know that's definitely coming now. Rocket League was a huge get.
It was big. I agree.
And also the fact that nobody saw it coming. There was rumors, but to see it actually official, that was big. There is apparently something that hasn't been it's been announced, but it's kind of been brushed over. Apparently WWE 2K18 is coming to Switch. And I can't 100% verify. I saw that this week in a Facebook group. Guy showed links to back up what he was saying. He was showing sources and stuff. Yeah. But I couldn't find anything on the 2K website, so I can't really go off of that yet. With Mario Rabbids coming in, I think now we're in a situation of FIFA is coming. We know FIFA's coming. The thing of it is you have a situation where the third parties that are basically from the beginning lined up and said, "Here we go," they're there. Sadly, it's a matter of whether those third parties sell or not. And that's the situation we're in. And if those third parties sell, which I think there's no way in the world that Mario Rabbids doesn't sell through the roof, man. If that thing don't move 1 million, 2 million copies in the first couple weeks, something's wrong. Seriously. That game looks phenomenal. that is probably the best looking Mario I've ever seen in a video game. Like, he looked so defined, so, like, just everything looked perfect. But I think, yeah, we don't talk about Sonic Mania here, Lamont. Stop that nonsense. That's not... But in all honesty, like, there's a new Sonic game coming. You got Sonic Forces, but Sega always supports Nintendo
yeah, but
pretty well.
But what about the games that matter? What about SteamWorld Dig 2? What about SteamWorld Dig 2?
They're not ready to talk about that yet. That's a 2018.
They headline their own Nintendo Direct with it.
I know, and that's a 2018 game. There's no doubt about that. That's not a 2017 game. I think a lot of these indie developers are now they're going to start to push a little bit, and Nintendo's going to let them. They're going to push a little bit into 2018. I'm easily. It's a travesty what all the big three did, because none of the big three really showed indie developers. It wasn't like one did and one didn't. Like, none of them showed it. There might have been one or two games within the mix that got shown, but I was blown away that they didn't do an indies thing at E3. Joe, what is up? Sean, Xbox didn't have the best feed. Listen,
yeah, Sean is absolutely correct.
Please, what? Because they whip out their Xbox peen and they bring out a portion onto the stage like they do every single thing. The only thing they do is have it hanging from the rafters and fall on somebody.
No, they showed over 40 games that ranged in
40 games, 22 exclusives. Which is a BS term, which is Phil Spencer.
You know what, Bobby? I don't care about exclusive. I wish Nintendo had 20 games that they could have showed me that weren't exclusive. They don't. That's the problem. The problem is
they don't need to show exclusive games though, or they don't.
Yes,
need
they
to
do
show,
because
it's going
to become the Wii U.
It's not
That's the problem. It is going to become the Wii U if they cannot get software support on the machine.
They have it coming. You just got to relax. Okay. You need to relax.
All right. You know what? I would have relaxed if at E3 they came out and showed me that they had it coming.
Okay, so in all fairness, all truthfulness, Nintendo, and I've said this numerous times, and people brush it off and they don't acknowledge it, and it is a fact. E3 it has grown, but in the realms and the eyes of Nintendo, E3 is a Nintendo of America show. It is not a Nintendo Japan show. Sadly, Nintendo Japan pulls all the strings. Nintendo America just shows up and does the song and the dance, and Japan controls everything. I don't think there's any argument about that. It's the way it's always been across the board. So with that said, with the ability to do Nintendo Directs, Nintendo doesn't hold a lot of water in E3. They haven't for a long time. The minute they pulled off the stage, it's kind of like they've taken a step back from what E3 is. It's important to us, and it's important to, to the gamers, but I don't think Nintendo takes it completely serious. And that's and that's sad. It's a sad thing for gamers and stuff, but like they're just not. Now when the gamers start to, now they're coming into the show, you might see things start to change again. But that's not really.
So then this is where we kind of deviate, and this is where right at the beginning, what I asked is what do you think E3 is for? Because E3 is for retailers. So if I'm Joe Best Buy and I'm watching what Nintendo has, I'm thinking about how much shelf space I want to devote to the Switch this year, being as they're probably only going to ship me about 200,000 units in the U.S. probably for the whole entire year. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to take up much space. But now I know that they really only have 4-5 games that are even of note that are going to be coming down.
Here's the thing.
And then they're not pushing any third-party support onto their platform. Well, so how much space am I going to take? How much space am I going to take off of my shelf, and I'm going to use to promote Nintendo's product? That is the problem.
It's not that they're not pushing third parties. The third parties just aren't coming as of yet. In terms of like they are with the other guys. The problem is that like the third parties need to figure out what exactly they're doing, because these games can't just be ported over. You can't just port over an Assassin's Creed Origins. It's not going to work. The Switch is not technically powered to do something like that. And and I'm so tired. Can we please stop with the side by side views of like Cars, the Cars game
Cars
with
3.
Yeah, Cars 3 with Xbox One against Switch. We know that the Switch is the lesser.
Yeah.
Like, stop it.
Yeah.
Xbox fanboys, Sony fanboys, stop.
It reminds me back in the day when they would do the the Vita versus the 3DS screen comparison.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a complete joke. It's the exact same game, but it's obviously not going to work.
It's not going to work. But I look at it like this. Nintendo needed to show one game, and they did that. I feel like in their minds. Same thing like when they showed Zelda last year, and that's all the main thing. They showed Mario. Mario was what everybody was looking for. And that was basically where we're at. Now, as far as retailers go, they look at it and go, well, this thing's selling like wildfire. We can't even keep them on the shelves as it is.
Yeah.
Then they're telling us that we're going to have a Mario game at holiday. Like, this is a win. This is a win for us. So I think retailers are fine. But I disagree with you in terms of I don't feel like E3 is for retailers anymore. I feel like, it's kind of a situation where GameStop has their own thing, their own like convention thing, and Nintendo goes to that. And Best Buy does something, and they go to that. I don't think E3 is for that. I think E3 is for the media now. Is the way I feel. I feel like it's a huge media thing, and that's basically where it is. But I don't feel like, look, at the end of the day, I think everybody can agree that E3 overall just wasn't that good. I don't feel like there was enough stuff to walk away. I mean, in years past, it was like you got floored with everything. I just didn't feel like it was that great. Sean, Capri, and you guys can get a private room with this nonsense.
Might.
We're gonna have a conversation tomorrow if we were at Nintendo, Sean. That's all I'm gonna say.
So I would agree with you that I do feel like it's much more of a public show now, and so again, this just supports the argument. If the argument then is now that their job is to cater to the public, you're saying that by showing a graphic of Metroid Prime 4, that was enough to carry that show to being the best presentation of video games to the public during E3 week?
No. What overall what Nintendo did was they showed you, here's Xenoblade Chronicles X, or here's Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you're getting that. Here's Mario Odyssey, you're getting that. Here's Fire Emblem Warriors, you're getting that. Here's Skyrim, you're getting that. You're getting Rocket League. So they showed you a bunch of stuff that's coming from now to the end of the year. You're looking at Mario Rabbids. You're getting a Nintendo exclusive every single month from now to the end of the year, with some other stuff sprinkled in. And by the way, here's what your next year you have to look forward to: Kirby, Yoshi. Look, we need to get into this real quick too. There is, there's been rumors floating that Metroid's coming next year. Now, I can't really say I believe it, but this week Donnie Reese of Play Some Video Games quote tweeted somebody, Distify, I think is the Twitter handle, who was going off of an article that was basically saying that someone within Nintendo said that Metroid Prime 4 has been in development for a while now, and it will release this year, or in 2018. And I was like, when I saw it, I was like, man, I can't believe these guys are actually pushing this narrative. Like, there's no way this game is ready. They're saying it's in development now. But when you go back and read what's actually said, it doesn't say just starting development. It's saying it's in development. When I started to push back and forth in the tweets, the guy was saying, like, well, once you know who the development team is, it'll make sense to you of why. They're basically saying that this thing's been in development for a while. And if that's the case, I mean, I don't buy it. I don't 100% believe it, because my feeling was this, and I said this. I was like, if that's the case, last year when Metroid Prime Federation Force was getting so much hate, don't you think Nintendo would have come out and been like, guys, relax. We have a Prime 4 coming. You just need to calm down. But I don't know that they would have done that either. especially if they weren't sure where they were going to place that game at on the Wii U or NX at the time. But do you believe this has been in development, or you think this is all brand new?
So do I believe it's been in development? Possibly, but my argument to that would be, if it was in development at all, they should have showed something.
Yes.
They could have had a close-up spin around of Samus focusing on her visor and then like cut to black, Metroid Prime 4. Like, so we could see the visual style, what it looks like. They should have given us something. Hey, guess what else has been in development for a long time? Beyond Good and Evil 2. Yeah. And they showed us a 3-minute cinematic trailer of that game. They didn't show us a JPEG. So that's my problem. If this game if this game is coming out next year, it has to be in enough form that they could show us some sort of asset from the game, and they decided not to do that. So that tells me there's no way that it's ready.
Listen, can we, before we get crazy here, can we stop with the JPEG talk? At least give them credit there was an animated GIF.
Oh, sorry, sorry, a GIF. You're right. You know, look, I like to picture Miyamoto somewhere on the side actually moving a piece of paper with the JPEG on it, making the 4 move over. It makes me happier to think of it that way. But yes, okay, sorry, it's a very nice GIF.
I don't think that was the ideal way to show it. I had said in many different things, the predictions, that I thought like you would have like a dark room, and then like the visor light up, and then boom, done. I felt like that would have been a better thing to do. But at the end of the day, like what they did, they did. I'm just happy that it's actually coming. I don't like the placement of it. Last week I had Josh Thomas on, and we discussed it, and we both agreed that we thought that they should have led with Mario Odyssey and then closed with Metroid. Like, send everybody home with the boom. Because that's the funny thing. When you looked at the trends, that was like the top 3 trend. Like that, when that moment hit on Twitter, like that was the top. I forget what the other 2 were. I'll tell you what wasn't there. $4.99 wasn't anywhere on that top trend.
Yeah, but you know what was OG Xbox games. All right, so
that's, hey man. Listen, you guys can stick with your old stuff.
That's fine.
I can't even get a virtual console game. I'm not worried about anything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath for that. So really for me, so I kind of went off on Nintendo on our show. We were doing a wrap up of each press conference one by one, and so I stand by everything that I said 100%. I've always called out Sony when they come out and show a game like Shenmue that doesn't even exist, but they hype up their fans. I think that's crappy fan service, and I think as a fan you should be really just insulted that a company would do that for you. And I feel exactly the same way with Metroid Prime 4. I love the Metroid Prime series, and I will buy that game when it comes out. But showing me a very nice, not very nicely edited GIF of it just makes me mad. It's almost like your boss coming in and being like, hey, listen, Chris, I know you've been asking for a bonus for a long time. I want you to look at this envelope. On the front of the envelope, it says Chris's bonus, and then at the bottom it says it's in development. You're gonna get it. Look, you're gonna get the bonus. We're gonna get it to you. I'm not real sure when. Listen, rumor is probably 2018, but I wouldn't hold my breath. So that to me is how that announcement came across. And I will tell you, leaving E3 week, I don't even like. I'm selling my Switch. My Switch is
save nonsense.
My Switch is on eBay. It has 8 hours left to go.
Please, you know what? Number one, it don't matter because you bought 5 of them, so you got a bunch more at the house.
True.
So that's nonsense.
That's true.
The other thing is that Switch does exactly what your Xbox One doesn't do, and that allows you to play on the go. And that, me knowing you, that's your number one thing. You're a on the go gamer. So I'm not worried about you with your lies. And
when Nintendo can show me they can support it with a good OS, with a good online infrastructure, with a good online infrastructure, with a decent virtual console and an actual steady lineup of games that I care about, at that point I'll think about buying another one.
Listen, would you grow up, Chris? Stop it.
Look,
stop throwing your temper tantrums over there. Grow up.
There's no temper tantrum, man.
Is. Listen,
I'm being look. I am a consumer just like anybody else. You just argue that show E3 was for us, and I can tell you 100% after the doors closed on E3, I had absolutely no interest playing anything on my Switch until Mario comes out. Nothing. I don't want to play Splatoon. I didn't buy ARMS. Like, there's nothing on that machine that I'm interested in.
Did you play Splatoon?
Yeah, I played the Global Test Fire and I played the Global Test Punch.
No, but I'm talking about, did you play Splatoon on the Wii U, or you didn't get a Wii U?
Yeah, no, I have a Wii U. We still have it.
How can you say that you don't want Splatoon 2?
I have no interest in playing the Switch right now.
Oh, would you stop? Come on,
I'm being honest with you,
Mr.
man.
Mordo, what is up, buddy? You're talking insanity. I can't even talk realistic with you when you're talking this insanity. I was over here playing Zelda a minute ago, man. I love this thing. It's amazing. I'm not going to sit here and say that there's not games on the Switch. I'm buying games every single week. Like, sure. I just bought Cave Story Plus this past week. I also bought Mighty Gunvolt Burst.
Oh, man, that game is amazing.
Wait, what are you talking about? You can't say it's amazing now. Come on.
Why?
Because you don't play your Switch.
I'm gonna buy it Friday on the 3DS as soon as it comes out. I absolutely love
that is Mighty Gunvolt Burst is amazing, man. It is so good. So good. Yeah, Sean, you're being a bit dramatic over there, Chris. Just take a deep breath. He's feverishly typing, Sean. Oh, that's not right, man. Come on. You're gonna get. Come on. If you want me to eject him, I can eject him. I will say this. Like, I had no desire to touch my 3DS again. Metroid got me to when I saw that. I was like, this is true, Chris. I mean, Sean, this is very true. Metroid, definitely, when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, this thing looks amazing. This thing looks really, really good. Yeah, Mighty Number 9 was for... here's the thing with Mighty Number 9. Inafune designed the Mega Man character. He designed the characters in Mega Man. He was not the game developer. He wasn't the director of the game. He had no business making Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
He should have got a better team to make Mighty Number 9. The creators of the Gunvolt series, those were the ones that actually built the Mega Man games. So that's why those games feel a lot more like Mega Man games than Mighty Number 9 did. What was weird about Mighty Number 9 was every time they showed that game, it just progressively got worse. Yeah. Like, when it first showed, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then, like, every single time they showed the game afterwards, it was like, what the hell are they doing to this thing? Like, they're just... They're raping it, man. It just looks horrible, man. It's just, it was bad. So I think that, like, this game is definitely, if those two would have got together earlier, and if he would have let them do Mighty Number 9, that would have been amazing. Now, Bloodstained, that also did a little showing. Yeah,
it looks great,
and that's coming to Switch.
Yeah. It's also coming to Xbox.
Yeah, but I'd rather play it on Switch because I'd rather play it on the go. That's the main thing. Like, a game like that, I don't feel is going to look that dramatically different on the Xbox against the Switch. And in that situation, and I've said that from the beginning, if the games are kind of parallel, I will always buy it on the Switch because that taking it on the go is massive. It's a huge plus, man. Sean Capri can actually go to the bathroom and use it all the time. I know he loves doing that, It's taken away from his tweet time, like he can't tweet anymore because he's too busy going to the bathroom. Oh,
man.
I don't know. I don't think I was as bad. Like, when I went back and I looked at our reaction shows that we did, because Sean and I basically did reaction shows for everything, and Nintendo was the one that I got hyped for. Like, I got excited for. And going into the Microsoft one, I walked away and I was like, I'm going to buy an Xbox One. But I kind of was saying that going into it. I definitely want to get into that ecosystem, and I want to start trying Xbox a little bit. But
Sure.
but for me, like, I walked away more excited. I had more like raising your arm moments, screaming for Nintendo. I think
really in those 25 minutes.
Yeah,
wow,
dude.
that's
seriously,
impressive.
I did. I like nothing.
All right.
Nothing that Xbox really like. Forza looked amazing. People are freaking out about Sea of Thieves. That really did nothing for me. That didn't excite me at all. But like when I looked at Nintendo, like Rocket League made me excited.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime got me excited just to see that they were actually working on it and it was coming. Mario Odyssey got me excited. So there was a few. Yoshi got me excited because I was like, I love Yoshi's Woolly World, man. I thought that is an underrated, amazing game.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're taking it and it's like 2.5D kind of like that got me a little excited.
Yeah, so look, but the name of the show is Nintendo Talk.
Yeah.
And you're called a Nintendo guru.
Yes.
If you didn't enjoy what Nintendo showed you, I would be really worried about the future of your YouTube channel. All right? So that's good.
Yeah, but I'm not I don't want to come off as a fanboy either.
No. And look, don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that you are. And I don't feel like you're coming that way at all. I feel like that you have a passion for what they showed. All I'm saying is that coming off the show, they showed me nothing that I needed as a fan of the brand to really be excited. Now, I will buy Mario. Mario looked fantastic, and I will buy Mario, and I will play Mario, and I will buy the next Zelda game when it comes out, and I will buy Metroid Prime 4 in 2019 or 2020 when they actually make it. Like those things are there, but my biggest fear right now is that Nintendo had all of the momentum going into this week, to E3 2017. They had all the momentum on their side. They had a lot of buzz. They had probably the best game of the year so far, and probably by the time it's all said and done with Breath of the Wild. They had a brand new hardware to show off. Like, everything looked great, and they came out and they did not, for me, they did not take any step forward. It felt like that they were just reiterating what we already knew. We knew about Mario whenever they announced it in January. Like, there was nothing that was like, I'm going to be good. The Virtual Console looks amazing. It's going to answer my problem. Online infrastructure looks amazing. It's going to answer my problem. Oh, this is the next game. It's going to be fantastic. Next year in 2019, we have a Breath of the Wild level game that's coming down the pipe. That game launched in March. If they had a game of that level that was going to launch in March, they should have shown it at E3. Like that. I'm just saying, for me, coming out of the presentation, I feel like Nintendo did nothing to further the brand other than the actual hardcore fans who love the system and were already looking forward to the stuff that they had. And that's my problem.
Should Samus Returns be on Switch? Yes or no?
It should, yes.
Yeah.
My argument is every game should be on both. Now, I really have got back into playing my 3DS, and I actually right now I prefer my 3DS. It is more portable than the Switch. Battery life is a little bit better. So I actually enjoy. I've been playing the Miitopia, which is hilarious. The demo for that. And like I said, my Mighty Gunvolt Burst does come to the 3DS on Friday, so I'm having a lot of fun with that. But at the same time, there's no reason that it couldn't play it. Even if you just give me black on like black bars on the side of the screen and basically emulate the 3DS screen on my Switch, I would still prefer that. That way, I could play some of those games on there. So yes, absolutely, I think any game released on 3DS should also be on the Switch. Really excited until I play the demo. Now, much less so. It just kind of seems kind of boring. So I don't know. I haven't. I think there's about I think it's about a 3-hour demo, and I haven't played that much. I probably only maybe played about an hour of it. So I'm gonna play through the end of the demo and kind of see. But I was really expecting something. It just feels very empty. From what I understand, there's only one town in the whole game. So I don't know. It looks a little more bland than I was hoping that it was going to be. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it should have. That would have been. See, that was what I was waiting for. I was waiting for. Now, look, I know we're not going to get the Call of Duty that is coming to Xbox and PlayStation. Like, I'm not stupid. But that we've had Call of Duties come to like Wii U, or I think maybe Wii before. And so, Bobby, they're
yeah,
can't hear you.
I think I'm back now. I hit mute.
You're back now?
I hit mute when I coughed, and I forgot to unmute when I coughed.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I didn't want them I didn't want to blow their ears out with my coughing.
Okay,
I'm sorry. What I was saying before was Mr. Mordo is talking about doing a custom. He does amazing stuff. You guys should go check him out on his Twitter. You can see pictures and follow his work and all that stuff. So there we go.
Yeah. But yeah, so just to kind of cap off what I was saying, like that would have been something for me that was showing Nintendo was taking gamers seriously again. Was if they could have announced a Call of Duty, or even like what if they went to EA and had a smaller, condensed version of a Battlefront 2 coming out on Switch this holiday. Look, it's not going to be the same game. It's not going to be 64-player online. Like, you got to give up those dreams. But if you could have gave me some sort of condensed version of Battlefront 2 that I could have played on the Switch, that would have been huge. And like, Nintendo has got to be aggressive about getting that kind of stuff on their platform, or this is going to turn back into a Wii U.
I think. Okay, so here's my question for you: is this Call of Duty coming to PS3 and Xbox 360?
I don't know that we know that.
Because I think that's the only way that it'll come to Switch. Because there's no way that I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say whether or not they can come to. It'll be difficult to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, so Beanox tweeted out, and Beanox was the team that did. I'm looking right now. It doesn't look like it's coming. So, and I'm not going to dig in too deep because guys just don't want to watch me do Google. But I don't. It doesn't look like it's coming to the other platforms. But Beanox tweeted out a picture, and Beanox is the team that did the ports for either Wii or Wii U, or maybe possibly both. I think it was like Black Ops 2 maybe. And they tweeted out a picture working with some people with Call of Duty shirts on, and so that was kind of how the rumor got started that maybe they were looking on a game that would actually show up. And so that was how that started cooking. But it makes a lot of sense to have a smaller team working on that. It wouldn't obviously be the proper the proper game, but having like an older model, just having it on there would be huge. Josh actually put in the comments, Josh Stapleton, I don't want huge AAA games that are graphic intensive ported on the Switch. Listen, Josh, I don't either, but the problem is Nintendo is going to be relegated to a second tier hardware manufacturer if they don't figure out a way to do that. So while I don't necessarily want that either, we're talking about furthering the brand and solidifying Nintendo as a premier hardware company. And if they're going to do that, if they're going to be considered a top tier company, then they have to be more aggressive about putting games. They can't just have a console that only has Mario and Zelda games on it, because if they do, it's going to turn out to exactly be what the Wii U was. And if that's what they want to do, if they want their future to be as a second tier platform, then that's fine. They're doing a great job at that. But if they want to take back and become a premier platform, they have to start looking aggressively at furthering that library beyond just the stuff that they make.
I think the announcement of Pokemon is going to change things big time. Because if that is a legitimate Pokemon game that they're announcing, like in the series, I think then it's a game changer for Nintendo. It'll be the first time in theory, like any time they put Pokemon on something, it's going to move units. So I think ultimately that is Nintendo at this point, and in conversations, like if you watch interviews with Damon Baker, you watch interviews with Reggie, they're all basically saying like the third parties are just wanting Nintendo to prove that this thing works. And I think they have shown that. Now, that being shown doesn't mean we're going to get a port fest immediately. I think they're going to start working on stuff and moving it over. We still haven't heard from Software. There's a lot of companies out there that said that they're going to work on Nintendo games, and we haven't heard anything yet from. So I think it'll be an interesting time. I think the other thing is with Nintendo's ability that they do these Nintendo Directs, I still believe it that we're going to get a Nintendo Direct in a week or two. And they're going to just basically blow things out the water that people didn't see coming, because that's just what they do, you know.
And that would be amazing.
Yeah, and they've been notorious for doing that stuff. I wanted to ask you a question. Lucas Lore here sent me. He posted a question on one of my videos recently, and actually I think it was on the Amiibo one. Is the actual video that it was on. But so the question was. He wanted to know what you thought about the power. Well, what we thought about the power saves. If you don't know exactly what that is, like you would buy cards essentially that has the Amiibo on them, or you buy one card that has like a bunch of Amiibo on them. So my question, more or less, is he's struggling with it because he's not sure if he feels like it's cheating or if it's, not the right thing to do.
Gotcha. So he's asking if doing that, if we would say that that's an okay thing to do. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So this kind. So I'll just jump in and I'll answer. I don't want to speak for you. So for me, this kind of falls into the pirating games category, and the thing that I always say is if you can find something legally, like if it is available, then that should be your only course. But if if Nintendo is not going to make any more, whatever Roy or Marth amiibos, and you can't find one, and you're not willing to pay $200 for an eBay or whatever that rare one is, Wii Fit Trainer, whatever they are now. I don't really follow the those, but I would say like. If it's just impossible to find, maybe it's okay. I mean, again, this goes back to Nintendo being our problem. If Nintendo's not going to produce and provide us with the stuff, but then they're going to hold back content because we don't have it, there's a problem with that, And
for me, I look at it like this: I buy Amiibo for the collector in me. I don't buy Amiibo for the content it gives me in the games. I look at it as I buy these little figures right here that I wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. It's not like there's a bunch of these little figures or statues running all over the place and I have a pick of the litter. So for me, I look at it like I get a little statue of Link, Majora's Mask. In addition, I can actually scan him into a bunch of different games and get a little bonus occasionally. Now, if you're looking at it from the perspective of you're playing a Fire Emblem game and you want to use Marth in that Fire Emblem game and you just can't find Marth anywhere. Maybe you're late to the game, maybe whatever. I don't have a problem if that's the route you're going to do it. It's basically at the end of the day, you don't need to justify what you're doing for anybody. You know what I mean? Jonathan Brown in the house. What's up, Jonathan? It's if you got to make the decision on what you're doing. Are you doing the Amiibo for the collector's aspect, or are you doing Amiibo for the gaming aspect? And once you figure that out, then you can make the decision. If it's a situation where, like with the Twilight Princess one, I wasn't able to get it. Now, I'm not going to... Coincidentally, it's the first time an Amiibo phase came through, a wave came through, and I didn't get one. So I'm in new uncharted territory for myself here in this one because I'm like, wow, this is weird. I've always been able to get every single one and never struggled. This was going to be hard. I refuse to go to eBay and buy them from a scalper. I'm not above importing from Japan though, because I open them and I collect them. So I think you need to look at where. And the other thing is like, look, people can't spend. Dude, I got thousands of dollars wrapped up in these amiibo. Thousands of dollars, man. It's insanity. I don't prescribe that anybody should live my life of insanity. Like there's something mentally wrong with me, man, to do this. But at the same time, I'll give the people a little view. So I used to collect these bad boys, right?
Oh, Joker!
This thing cost me $700.
Yeah,
I used to collect statues like a madman. So busts, I look at, well, not just busts. I have a Batman full scale.
Like,
Like, it's insanity, the stuff that I have. Like, I have a bunch of cool looking statues. So for me, it was one of those things of like, I stopped buying these, so I'll buy Amiibo now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not really. It's it's madness all across the board. But at the end of the day, like when I look at it and I go like, this is what I'm gonna spend now. Some people don't have that disposable income, you know. And if I have a choice, am I buying Amiibo or am I buying a game? I'm gonna buy the game over the Amiibo.
Yeah,
that's just the way I feel, you know, because it's not like the actual Amiibo do that much drastic, you know, for it. For the games, like, okay, so you scan it into Breath of the Wild, you get some food, you get some arrows, things of that nature. That's cool. That's wonderful. It's fun. Not the end. It's not make or break. It's not the greatest thing ever. I did like the scan-ins for Mario Kart. You got the extra suits and all that stuff.
Yeah,
like, again, it's not make or break. It's not the end of the world. I don't have to have them. I do it for the collector and me for the statues. In his position, I would look at it as, I think it's like $14.99, something like that, for a bunch of different these cards and all these things. Just do it. Just do it. Don't. You're not gonna. You know. You're not gonna. Especially with the earlier waves, dude. You finding a villager amiibo, you finding a Wii Fit trainer. That one never came back into circulation. I have never seen a Wii Fit trainer again.
Yeah.
If you really want a Wii Fit trainer to scan into Smash, dude, go for it. Honestly, it's nuts. You know?
I again, this is Nintendo's problem. Nintendo is the one. Here's what I would say: if you're not trying to get something for free, like if you would gladly lay down $15 for a Wii Fit trainer right now, but Nintendo's not giving you that ability, then do it however you need to do it.
I look at it like this: when it comes to games, man, I try my damnedest not to do pirate things. I bought Mother 3. This is a sickness on my behalf. But I bought Mother 3, the fan translation of it, for the DS, right? And I started playing it and I love the game, and I'm in love with the game. I just didn't like playing on the postage stamp, which was about that big. And But I felt, dude, I felt so guilty buying that fan translation that I went upstairs to my wife's Wii U and I bought Earthbound on the Wii U just so I can give Nintendo money to play this game guilt free.
Yeah, there you go.
It's nuts. So, but if it comes out, I'll buy it. I'll buy Mother 3 if they ever decide to get around to putting it out. But in situations like that, like, I get why people do it. It's like, man, you're not giving us what we want. You know, it is what it is. You know, it just, you know, that's like the NES Classic, man. If people then go out and buy like Raspberry Pis and start making their own, you kind of ask for it yourself, man, because you're not producing. Right. You know, you're not producing enough for it to go around, and that's sad that you get to that point where you're like, hey, this is the option. This is what we're gonna do. Yeah, no, I agree. It is. So
I agree.
I don't know what else. You got anything else you want to talk about, or?
No, not really, man. You know, I appreciate you asked me to come on. It was funny because you kind of gave the story at the beginning, but you asked me just after we had uploaded our video, which I totally gave out your Twitter handle at the end for fun. Did you listen all the way to the end when I told people to send you tweets?
Yeah, I listened.
Yeah, this is the best.
It was not the best. Dude, I was like ready to... But the advantage was I thought about it, and I was like, well, seriously, he's telling people to tweet me. They only got 3 people to listen to that show.
That's true.
The 3 of them. Nobody else listens.
That's true.
So I'm not worried about it. So I wasn't worried about getting
You shut your mouth. So yeah, but no. Look, I am passionate. Really about all things, and so that comes across sometimes as abrasive, or maybe even as cocky, and I don't mean to be that way. I mean, I love a Nintendo. I mean, my desk has amiibos on it. I mean, I play my 3DS constantly. I actually paid for 5 Switches at launch. Yeah. I am a Nintendo fan. I'm wearing a Zelda shirt. See, I like. But as a fan, oh, there you go. See, look at that. Look, you put the picture of the Captain America and the Batman shirt. We came together, man.
Yeah, we came together as one.
Came together with Zelda. But being the fan that I am, when I see things that I feel like, because I have been a huge champion of Nintendo going into the Switch, and I felt like up till E3 they had done almost everything right, and I really expected them to come out and just lock down E3, and I feel like it was a huge misstep. Now, you mentioned directs earlier, and that is the one advantage that Nintendo has over everybody else. They could make this all go away in July with an amazing direct that's focused on Splatoon and focused on Xenoblade and the games that are coming out this fall. They don't need to show me anything else by Mario. Mario looks absolutely fantastic, other than that god awful song that they played. The game looks fantastic. Yeah. So I just, as a fan, I really was hoping Nintendo was going to come out and show us what Virtual Console was going to look like, show us something. We already had that awful solution that Hori had for voice chat. I was hoping Nintendo was going to at least address that at some point. I was just hoping that they would take this time to really speak to the fans and say, guess what, guys? We got you. We hear you. We know what's going on. We got you. Yeah. And instead, they gave us 25 minutes that, if you do the math, had about 8 minutes of freaking Reggie walking around pretending to be Dr. friggin' Seuss. I don't understand. And I love Reggie.
Listen, relax. You're getting back. You're asking for hate again. Would you stop?
I know.
I brought you in to get you out of that muck.
I know.
Gaming left you in. You're going back in there, man. Stop.
So I told you I get passionate about it. So anyway, that being said, I do not think that Nintendo had the best conference that of the week, but I do not think that this hurts them in the long run right now, because of because of the strong lineup they have in the fall, and because they have the ability to do directs. But I got to be honest, I am a little worried about what 2018 looks like, because if all I have to look at is a few indie games and Yoshi and Kirby, that's not going to cut it. So there definitely is
you also have to remember too, they've always typically been more focused on showing the back half of that year. This year they decided to just show a couple of titles for the next year. But for the most part, they've always tried to be the anti-Sony and show what's coming out now, what you can get your hands on now. But I guess they looked at Sony and go, hey, they're getting away with it. We'll give it a shot, too, and see what happens. Yeah. For the most part, it worked for them. There's a few people that are pissed, but overall, more people are happy about it than are sad about it. So at the end of the day, when they look at it, they go, hey, this was a success. You also have to look at this, too. This isn't uncharted territory for them. They've done this numerous times. They did this with Smash for the 3DS and for the Wii U. They just threw a logo up there. They did it for Animal Crossing New Leaf before it actually had the name New Leaf, for the 3DS. So they've been notorious for just flashing logos up. People may not like it, but it's something that they actually started doing it. They were the first ones to do it. So it's something that they've done over history. So I get it. And I was totally expecting that to happen at this show. I wasn't expecting... I think I was a little... The parts that I was upset was it didn't announce a new Animal Crossing
Oh, that was sad.
I was upset that they didn't talk about what Retro's doing.
Yep.
Because that one shocked me. Like, Retro should be... A game should be coming from Retro very soon, honestly.
Agreed.
Like, when you look at it, like, when was Tropical Freeze? Like, that was 2014? 2013?
13 maybe, I think, yeah.
So, when you look at that, like, where the hell is this game at? Like, this makes no sense. So,
yeah, they
got to be having something. I mean, that's what, almost 3-4 years later, right? So, there's no reason why they don't have a game, like, on the cusp. And when they do games, they knock games out the park, man. So we'll see what happens with that.
And then, and Pikmin 4 should have been there.
That's another one. Now, Sean, here's the thing. Sean, leading in, had said to me, "Hey, man, Best Buy Canada did a bunch of leaks. Get off of social media right away." And the leaks were Smash Deluxe and Pikmin World.
Oh yeah.
Now, Miyamoto also came out during E3 and said, "Hey, Pikmin is not Pikmin 4. We have a lot done with Pikmin 4, but that's all I'm allowed to say." I think it's actually closer than people think too. I think there's stuff, but they're just keeping it tight to the vest. Come on, you can't tell me that they did a Mario Kart Deluxe. They're doing Splatoon 2, which is essentially Splatoon Deluxe. Yeah. They're doing Pokken Tournament Deluxe. You're going to tell me they don't have a Smash Deluxe in the
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah.
I think they're saving that for a private, separate direct.
Yeah.
And that's more or less where they're going with that. Real quick, let everybody know where they can find you at.
You can follow me on Twitter at NeoLego. I hang out with the guys over at Life of Gaming. We have a podcast there, but I do want to say that we just launched a brand new show called the Xbox Dive with me and James Michael the Jet Ski. And I'm a big. Me and James are both big Nintendo fans, but we got pretty early, kind of involved in the Xbox ecosystem, and we really like Xbox a lot. We've been pretty big fans for a while, and in our circle, we hang out with a lot of you guys and a lot of the shows and stuff that we do, but there aren't a whole lot of just Xbox centric podcasts. So we kind of wanted to shed a little light on that and show a little love to one of our favorite brands. So we're 2 weeks into that, but you can follow us on Twitter at the Xbox Dive, or on YouTube at the Xbox Dive, and we talk all things Xbox there. So
it's good stuff. Good stuff. Myself, obviously, Instagram, Twitter at Nintendo Gurus. Tomorrow I record If We Ran Nintendo with Sean Capri. We're actually going to dive into Lucas Lore's question that he sent last week about what we should do with My Nintendo for the Switch.
That's a good one.
That's going to be a good one. I have some ideas for that. So we're going to talk about that. I think that's all we're going to talk about. Toby and I had a great episode of the Nintendo PlayStation podcast today, which will air Monday. So you guys want to check that out. That's good stuff. Nintendo talk all week long, 5 days a week. I'm loving this show. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been good, man. It's been good. I've enjoyed it too.
Yeah, it's been a blast, and I want to thank everybody that's been supporting it and checking it out and all that. Like, can't do it without the support and the love of you guys, so I appreciate that wholeheartedly. It's been mind-blowing, honestly, really. I can't thank people enough. So check that, if you haven't checked that out, go check that stuff out. And if you guys want me to talk about things during the course of the day, like if you see a news story that you really interest, and you go like, hey, I want to hear what Bobby has to say about that, like, just tweet me at Nintendo Gurus. Let me know, and just put like hashtag Nintendo Talk in it, so that way I know you want me to talk about it or discuss it, and I'll grab those news topics, and because basically what I do is I just go through my Twitter feed, I go check out Nintendo Mobile News, I go check out Nintendo Wire. Those are the two sites that I typically hit first for all my news. Because them guys are on top of everything, seriously. And then from there, I just bounce off to IGN and stuff like that and try to grab 3 news items for the day. But if there's something, again, if there's something you want me to talk about, hit me up, let me know, and we'll go from there. So, nobody hates you. Stop it. So that is all. Peace out, Cub Scouts.
Bye.